Okay, so now we are going to deal with the third and fourth monsoon season. The first one is the autumn or retreating monsoon. So it is the time we have a little bit of rainfall because the monsoon clouds, okay, slowly they are retreating. They are going back. Okay, going back is what we call as retreating the monsoon. So mostly in the second half of October, the temperature starts falling rapidly in India. Okay, by the beginning of November, and then what happens now here? You see here. In the month of October, what happens now? The temperature begins falling. So here, slowly the sun ray, okay, it goes down. Okay, so here we have unfortunately low pressure. Okay, and still this side is very hot. Okay, but whereas the northern part, okay, it becomes high pressure area because of the coolness. Okay, so what happens now here, during the time of autumn season, in the retreating monsoon, this from here the air blows towards the low pressure area. Thus we have cyclone, okay, so created at this place. So this cyclone also brings in a lot of rain along the coastal region, and it gives enough and more rain too. Okay, so you should understand the nature of the retreating monsoon. No, okay, it goes here. Okay, that's creating the cold. Okay, so it becomes very cold. It becomes, loses the temperature. When the temperature falls down, the air becomes very thick, high. Here the temperature is bit high, and therefore it is low. Then what happens? The air travels from high pressure zone to the low pressure zone, thus creating the cyclonic storms. That is the reason in the month of October and November we have so many cyclones that happens in the Andaman Sea. Okay, so it brings enough and more rainfall to the coastal area. That's the reason often Chennai is flooded. Okay, the coastal areas are flooded. Okay, and we have enough and more rain now at this belt in the Bay of Bengal. Even here also we have flood and things like that. Okay, so that's how the retreating monsoon brings some more rainfall, during the autumn season. Then the winter season. Okay, now we can just go through very simple. The winter season extends from December to February, which means the sun ray, okay, doesn't fall upon either Tropic of Cancer or on the equator, but rather it falls directly upon the Tropic of Capricorn, towards the southern pole. Okay, that's the reason why we feel very cold. Okay, so in that cold region, the air becomes very thick, so it creates a high pressure area. Okay, right. Now here what happens in the month of January and February, the temperature falls. The temperature falls below freezing point in Punjab and Kashmir. Below freezing point, what happens? Snow falls. But in South India, the average temperature is always 14 to 15 degrees centigrade. Okay, now we also have a little bit of rainfall because of the cyclonic storm that happened at the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so in winter, Kashmir and northwestern parts of India experience winter rainfall and snowfall caused by the Mediterranean Sea cyclones. Okay, right now the North India is covered in dense fog during these days. Okay, you can see the map 3. Okay, so with that we complete the seasons. Now we will move on to the second important thing, El Nino and the monsoon. This is very important. You should know what is El Nino, because El Nino is what decides uh, um, the the predicting of the season for the longer period of time. You see here. So this El Nino phenomena takes place because of, you see, something that happens in the Pacific Ocean. So Pacific Ocean is one of the greatest ocean in the world. Okay, now often this water is heated up and then it becomes cold. Okay, so when the water becomes heated up, this is what we call as El Nino. When it becomes heated up, then what happens? It attracts so much of air. It needs air. Okay, so it creates lots of cyclones. So it is this that create the change of, you see here, it is this that creates the change of the wind pattern. So it's El Nino that creates a wind pattern that blows across the ocean, and then we get the southwest monsoon. Okay, so yeah, El Nino is very very important. I'll just read through the abnormal. See here, the abnormal warming and cooling of the Pacific Ocean caused by ocean currents occur after intervals of a few years. So it happens, it takes so much years of time actually. Okay. So here what is affected, Peru gets heavy rainfall in the winter as a result and experience of the floods. When the ocean water is warmer than normal, the fish catch decreases. Okay, so when the water becomes very warm, okay, very hot, then you won't find so much fish. Okay, so this phenomenon is called as El Nino. El Nino means Nino means baby. Okay, so it's a baby Jesus. Okay, right. So El Nino phenomena takes place when the ocean is getting heated up. Okay, right. It occurs around the Christmas. That's the reason why we have terrible summer in Australia, I told you. Okay, because of the low pressure heating up of the Pacific Ocean, the phenomenon of El Nino. Okay, then what happens is called when the opposite takes place, when we are having enough and more summer, here they have winter because the sea is getting cooler and cooler. This phenomena we call as La Nina. It's opposite to the El Nino. El Nino is a male child, La Nina is a female child. Okay, so El Nino is a very very key factor in making a long term weather forecast. You see in the news every day they make a weather forecast. Okay, so everything is based upon the El Nino factor. Okay, so based on this they forecast the long term weather pattern. Okay, so in the year 1990 to 91, there was a delay of 512 days, which means 1 year and a half, okay, days for the arrival of the monsoon in India because of the El Nino change. Okay, so with that we complete here this seasons. Okay, now we'll move on to the climate change. Maybe I'll finish with a few short introduction. The climate change is very very important, you should know about it. Okay, the entire world is worried about long term impact of the change that is occurring in the composition of Earth's atmosphere. No, Earth atmosphere, above surface level. What happens now, whatever factories that we have, okay, they emit so much of carbon that goes and then breaks the carbon ozone layer. Okay, thus creating the changes of the climate that really affects it makes our Earth very hotter and hotter. Okay, you see here the sun rays falls upon the Earth. Okay, it is the ozone layer that protects the harmful radiation from reaching the Earth. Okay, if the ozone layer is damaged, what happens, we get the raw sun ray from the sun that actually creates so lot of changes in the weather pattern. The solar, the Earth is here. Okay, so we have the polar region is full of ice. There should be ice. Okay, now if Earth becomes heated up, what happens, this ice will begin to melt and then sea level will go high. Okay, it will create so much cyclone. Okay, then the land will be submerged. That is the thing that is going to happen. Okay, so we learned earlier that the long term atmospheric condition is what we call as climate. This means the climate is a cycle of atmospheric conditions over many years. This cycle changes now. Okay, these changes that are causing concern. So this cycle is changing. The scientists say in another 2 years our normal temperature will increase 1 degree, which is very dangerous. We cannot live if the normal temperature is 30. Okay, average. Okay, so 30 means it will go up to 41. Okay, if it increases plus 1, which means it will even go to 50. Okay, nobody can live. Okay, that's what gives a great concern. These changes occur very slowly, but they can lead to many problems. These problems include unpredictability of rainfall, shrinking of glaciers. Shrinking means, the melting of ice, and rising sea level, as I told you. So we need to seriously think about how to how to uh, think about how a change in the date of arrival of the rainy season could affect the crop cycle. Okay, you see here, so mm, this time we always have the very late coming of the monsoon. It's because of the climate change. Okay, so this is very very important, because we are the one, man. Okay, man, he is the main cause for everything. Okay, and therefore we should be very much aware of the fact how we exploit the nature and how the nature responds to us. Okay, so with that we complete India's climate. There are exercises. You are supposed to buy a notes and then answer everything. Okay, and then these everything should be written down in your notes. Some of you have not completed your class note. You are supposed to do your class note. You are supposed to write everything, and all this carry mark. They are part of your internal examination. Okay, all the best. Thank you.